Hey, this is Mike Villagrana with Happy Valley United. I'm here today with a special guest, Matt Dubb, with Penn State jerseys. Big Penn State fan, but he's brought his passion with Penn State and created a business, and a really cool business that we're excited to be partnering with him on. And so we brought him on here today. Want to kind of let the fans know and to know, what what does Penn State jerseys bring to the table? How's this partnership look? What are we looking to do in the future? A little bit background about you, Matt, I think is really interesting. And I think the fans would like to know. So, Matt, introduce yourself, man. Tell us a little bit about you, and we'll go into the Penn State jerseys and how it's become such a success to this point.
Thanks, Mike. So yeah, I've been a Penn State fan. I'm 42, pretty much over 30 years. Penn State football is part of my life and my family's life, and obviously a big part of our Saturdays in the fall. When I first started watching Penn State football, I didn't have cable growing up. So growing up in New Jersey, that was pretty much the main college football team that was on TV growing up. So when I was younger, I was introduced to the likes of Kajana Carter, Kerry Collins, Curtis Enos, LeVar Arrington, Larry Johnson, and alike. So they were pretty much the only game on TV. The blue and white uniforms I thought were very nostalgic. Loved the navy blue uniforms, and just fell in love with college football. The pageantry, the matchups. Keith Jackson telling the story. I mean, was there anything better than a big college football game on a Saturday? And whoa, Nelly, you got Keith Jackson calling the game. I remember watching the Penn State Michigan game in '97, and Keith Jackson's on the call. And when you knew Keith Jackson was there, you knew it was a special moment. So,
Yep.
the announcers, the pageantry, the history, the performance on the field. I fell in love with college football, just like a lot of Penn State fans have over the years. And, as I, really started to like and follow the team, fans are always looking for other ways to be more connected with the team and connected with other fans and just the experience. And I started collecting the jerseys that the players wore. So early in the eBay days, right, where stuff would be listed for sale. Before that, we had Champs, Models, East Bay catalogs, right, where you got one Penn State
Yeah, I
replica
used to love
jersey a
these
year.
phase. I didn't know your age.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked off record a bunch, but I didn't know you were 42. That's how old I am.
Mhm.
And we basically grew up, basically the same era. And now, did you go to Penn State?
No, I was just a big fan.
Okay.
Just
All right,
just just
so
a big fan.
same, so basically the same here. A little bit different path, but growing up in Youngstown, Ohio, and that time that LeVar Arrington, really for me, it was Kyle Brady that
Hmm.
got me to really like dive into like what is Penn State, who's Penn State, and the history and all that. And then, but unfortunately, I ran a 5.3 at a camp, and my Kyle Brady dreams were over and crushed. Um, so that's pretty cool, and I look forward to talking up about us growing up during that phase and not a Penn Stater because I feel like a Penn Stater even though I didn't go to the freaking school, but I've been working in this space and I've had the opportunity to go to all these other different schools and feel it out, the colors, like the jerseys, like that's a big deal, and nothing ever compares to Penn State. That blue, that white, the basic, right? Like it's so clean. It works with everything even from like a digital marketing standpoint with graphics and stuff. It's like graphic artists and designers would always tell me Penn State is like the best because those colors just work and they're simple. So yeah, I love this place just like you, man, and it's pretty cool. We had a kind of similar paths, but and you're now bringing a ton to the table with these game worn jerseys. And the one thing that me and Brian always hear from fans, what they want is game worn jerseys.
Hmm. Yeah. So going like I'll just put a kind of a capper on the jersey. It's like growing up, I remember the first Nike jersey they came out with was the number 39, the Curtis Enos. It was in all the malls and the stores, and that was in '97. And then later that year, they actually made an authentic jersey where they actually had some of the sewn on numbers, and those are still popular. You still see them. but probably like 98, 99, eBay started to become popular. And I started seeing some of the jerseys that the players actually wore pop up for sale. And I wound up just starting to collect them and buy them with the money I'd make over the summer kind of working. And it brought you closer to the game. Now, like game worn jerseys, memorabilia, that's like a whole industry that has exploded between Steiner Sports and then Fanatics and so on and so forth. But back then, it was really kind of a novelty. So you go to the mall, right? Or you get the jersey at East Bay catalog, you get your Sports Illustrated, right? And you'd have, whether it's Curtis Enos or Penn State's #1 or LeVar Arrington or, Bobby Ingram when he was on the cover when they beat Michigan in '94, like that's what we grew up with, right? Everyone under, at and around our time frame. So just collecting pieces like that, whether it's the Sports Illustrated, the jerseys, the clips, like my motto, my tagline for my page is preserving the history and telling the story of Penn State football. So everything falls under that mantra of preserving and then telling the story for fans to enjoy and connect across, generations.
Yeah, Matt. So I was a big East Bay guy,
Mm-hmm.
like huge. Like it was like the Bible to me. Every
Mm-hmm.
time I got a new one, and I would go in there, I'd circle all the stuff that I wanted. I was a big T Mac guy too. So Tracy
Mm-hmm.
McGrady, when he had his line out, I wanted all that. I loved the Pippins, the old school back in like
The ones with the
'99.
air on it, the air. Yeah. Oh yeah, I had one of those. Oh yeah.
So I got to pick my mom, single mom, would buy me one pair of shoes for school
Mm-hmm.
each year. I got those 3 years in a row. I loved them so much. But East Bay, I would circle everything I want, but I couldn't afford it. Like, it sucked because like it was just like a tease. So
Mm-hmm.
like basically, you're creating this business that's like the East Bay for Penn State fans.
So my page originally when I started in 21, I'll give you kind of the lineage of it. I was living in Hawaii at that time with my family, and that was just kind of in the midst of COVID, and a lot of those like Facebook groups and online communities is what people use to like stay connected during that period of time because we didn't have like a lot of interaction. My wife was like, "Hey, you have all these jerseys, you have these pictures, you have these like these tokens, like you should really like post these on your page and start to like network with other fans." And that's really what I did. I really, even to this day, I don't have any business motives with the sites. It's really just preserving the history, telling the story, networking with other fans, and sharing all these items from my collections, whether it's jerseys, helmets, tickets, experiences, meeting players, candid videos like behind the bench or as players are coming out of the tunnel, or returning a jersey to a player who never kept one and was really like abundantly appreciated. Like all different ways I have networked with fans and share my experience and enjoy Penn State football. Now, naturally, right, like they say, when you are just doing something that you love and do, different opportunities come your way to monetize or make money. And a lot of people have reached out, say, "Hey, I want a game worn jersey. I want a helmet. Hey, can you help me get this thing signed?" And I'm always willing to help, or help, who wore this jersey, or how do I get this, or do you have this for, my husband played and he never kept a jersey. Do you have his, or can you keep an eye out for this
Oh, that's
jersey?
awesome.
And I've returned so many over the years, and it's such a cool experience, right? Um, I had one at the blue white game. I posted a 34 Generations of Greatness jersey on my story, and Tyler Holsworth shot me a message before the game. He's like, "Dude, like, can I get that back?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, sure, I'll meet you." And he was like, "Man, I was so appreciative. I want to frame it up and give it to my dad as a thank you." And like, I never thought I would get it. Um, I was at the blue white game 3 years ago, and they had a big sale. I got a white number 95, and Carl Nassib was there with I was branded short at the time, and they were running for board of trustees. And I just asked him, "Hey, did you keep any of your jerseys?" He's like, "I got one blue one, and that's it. I wish I had more." And I was like, "Hey, like, like, I got yours like right here. And he was like in shock. And one of the guys there got it on video, and I just gave it to him. He was like so appreciative. He was like, dude, you are the man. This is incredible. Just those random act of kindness, just to like experience something with another player that kind of is something that you and like really taking to as well, like the jersey and the memorabilia is cool. So, you know, when we started talking, I was like, hey, like I think a goal of Penn State fans collectively is how can we create more experience and engagement and value for people who want to join Happy Value United and support the collective. And one thing that always came to mind, and it's been part of our conversation, is like, hey, like a jersey giveaway, or putting up one of the jerseys for auction to raise money for the collective, and working with you guys to maybe brainstorm some ideas for experiences so fans could experience some of these things that I've been lucky enough to over the years. Because Penn State football, like I always say, is like, it's the memories we create at the games with our kids, our families, our moms or dads. The wins and losses are great, but like the sustainability and the enjoyment while we're there, it's the people who we sit next to, the people we tailgate with, and the stories we tell about those games that resonate most. So that's what I'm hoping to help bring our fans closer to, and working with you guys.
That's awesome. And like I stated earlier, all the schools that I've been to, and it's really kind of an arms race to have like the nicest jerseys, not just from like a aesthetics standpoint, just from a performance standpoint. I remember playing. I played at West Virginia because I ran 5'3". I remember Nike went from like baggy, you know what I mean, on the
Yeah, big
sides,
shoulders.
like still kind of old school. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember after like 2 years, going into like maybe my junior and definitely my senior year, they were clean as shit. Like
Mm-hmm.
so nice from a performance standpoint, super tight. But
Mm-hmm.
like when you framed them up, they looked clean when they were framed.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but they weren't a top school. So when I got to Penn State, I found out we were like there's tiers to the
Mm-hmm.
Nike, right? And you know well.
Yeah.
And Penn State was kind of the ambassador to like the tier one or whatever the highest tier is. So they got all the nice stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
everything nice. And even to this day, like the coaches, usually the assistant coaches, the head coach, and maybe like the GM now and a couple guys, they get like the premium stuff. So like that nice sick jacket that everybody loves that has the PSU script
Oh yeah.
on it that everybody wants. Not
But
even
no one
everybody in the
has. No
building
one
gets those.
has.
Only the
Yeah.
top dogs get that stuff.
Yeah.
So how did you go through the transition, and how did you adapt to the news when you found out Penn State was going from Nike to Adidas? Because I'm assuming that was like a lot. That had to bring up a lot of different ideas and different opportunities for your business, and it seems like you're capitalizing on that.
Yeah. So I guess there's two parts to it, because I got a lot of questions. People are like, man, you're a jersey man. You have all these jerseys. You got 120. Like you have all them for all the different eras, from the Russell to the Champion to the Nike. So there's two parts. Number one, I think, just to address the economics part, listen, they made a very compelling offer. I think it was rumored between 4 and 6 times what Nike was paying them. So obviously, from an economic standpoint, you can't say you want to compete and then walk away from that much money. And Nike and Adidas has made, I think, a lot of strides over the past 5 or 6 years in terms of their performance apparel. And the two teams in the national championship game this year, both Miami and Indiana, are Adidas schools. So I think it was the right move from a business standpoint. Change is tough, right? No matter what happens. But ultimately, my focus would be keeping the style, right? Like, I don't want a bunch of alternate jerseys. I don't want funky colors. I don't want like line logos on the shoulders. Just as long as it's clean and basic, like we've had, I think within a year or two, fans will embrace it. And I think what things that fans have to realize is that, as much as we all love Nike's design, and you cannot take any credit away from Nike's design. I mean, it's incredible. But I think there's something to be said about a partner like Adidas who really wants you, right? Who really wants to work with you, that wants to make it a priority and is that invested in the relationship. I think we're going to get the best that any school has ever gotten out of Adidas. And I think with Nike, their bets are hedged across to other schools, right, wrong, or indiffer. So I don't think we'll ever get necessarily their best. And I think that's in the best interest of Penn State football moving
Yeah.
forward. And I think the worst thing, and the thing that they're not stupid, they're not going to pay all that money and then change the uniform, right? They have the awareness to know this is going to be an adjustment. Let's not try to change as much as possible. Let's give them what they want. We're not going to put names on the back. We're not going to do anything crazy. And I think it's going to be beneficial for both sides moving forward.
Yeah, you know what's funny? That this kind of pops in my head when you talked about this a little bit. The transition, the monumental transition from Nike to Adidas, is it reminds me of watching the Jordan movie. Um, uh, who was it? Was it Mark Wahlberg was in it with how
Yes.
the shoe got created?
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, that was monumental. Nike wouldn't have been Nike if it wasn't for that, right? Like, and that's what really kind of started. I might be making stuff up, but I'm pretty sure based off the movie that was like, if Jordan would have went non-Nike, like that would have been the next Jordans. Like it could have been who was it? It was like was it Reebok?
Reebok
Was it
Converse. They didn't want them
yeah? It was
to
Reebok, Converse, or
to
Nike, right? Adidas
they didn't.
wasn't in the picture, was it?
No, I it was either Reebok or Converse. I think it was Reebok. And if I remember correctly, they did not want him to leave the room. So they had the first meeting with him, and him and like his mom was pretty well involved. It was just like, hey, like I gotta listen to all these offers. So they tried to hard close. They went to Nike. Nike blew him away with the offer, and then his mom came back and said, hey, like, we need a royalty on this as well. And then the rest is history. And then they paid the funny part is, I don't even know if people know, is like the way they actually designed those shoes, those were out of code for the NBA. So at the time you couldn't have like
I
certain
do remember hearing that. Yeah,
color sneakers. So Nike said, we're just going to pay the $5,000 a game times 80 games. And they had him wear those sneakers. And the rest is history. But the common thread is Nike went all in, right? They
yeah.
invested in him. They paid the
That's
fine.
why I
They
brought
did
it
the
up.
sneakers. Exactly what you're saying is point. Like they went all in, and it changed the trajectory of that relationship.
Now,
So
now I agree with you. I agree with you a lot that like Adidas isn't just going to do this and half-ass it, right? There's a lot of money involved, and obviously that's a big reason why they made this decision with the landscape and revenue and all that, right? That's a big piece of it. But also like the quality, I know a lot of people's feelings were hurt in the building when that decision was made, and that was one of me. One of them was me, especially because I've always been a Nike guy. If my wife buys anything for my kids, I don't want my 11-year-old wearing some like knockoff Reebok. I want him wearing Nike. You know what I mean? Like
we all
you got
do.
to look official, look good, feel good, play good, right?
Mm-hmm.
But with I was at Mississippi State. That was my first experience with Adidas, right? And straight up, I hated it. Like the quality was bad. It was just like cheap feeling when you at that time when you put some Nike stuff on, like it wasn't like ironed on stuff. Like it was like quality. But the only thing I did love about Adidas at that time, this is like 2016 or 2017, 18. I love the shoes. Like the shoes were the best. Especially as I'm getting older now, I don't really care for looks. I care for more about, support. So I love their shoes, but I think I saw a little teaser. Abdul Carter was in town doing some content and for the Adidas rollout. Um, I think fans are going to be pleasantly surprised when they see the product, and I don't think you're going to see much difference when it comes from quality. It's just going to be just an adjustment and take time to just see Nike or see Adidas three stripe on a Penn State jersey. Like it's just going to take time. Like that's tough, man.
Now, what
But
logo do you want them to go with? Do you want the three stripes, or what is that thing that almost looks like the old one, where it's almost looks like a budding flower, almost? You know what I mean? Where it's like the
Oh, I
The
don't even know what that is.
you
No,
know
don't
the
go
three
there.
they have the three stripes and then the old school one. You know the old
Yeah.
school Adidas logo. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Um,
I gotta look it up. But yeah, it's just gonna take time. Like when I saw Abdul Carter, he had
mm,
the jacket that I'm talking about that I
yeah,
know people are hitting you up. I know some donors are
mm,
even hitting you up
yeah.
about it. Like he had that version, but it was Adidas. Now, like first reaction, I was like, it's pretty similar. It looks pretty similar. But it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a fun ride, kind of just seeing how everybody evolves, and especially when they're in the bookstores and stuff, and they're going in and they're going to buy some gear, and they're at the games or any type of event, and it's going to be like first you're going to have to double. It's a double take for me.
Hmm.
It's like, oh, that's Adidas.
Hmm. It'll take some time. It'll take some time, but well,
Yeah. So hey, so Matt, hit us with a couple of things that you got in the works. And I won't take too much of your time after that, but I kind of want people to know like what you're doing, what's in the future, and what's short term, maybe what's long term.
yeah. So with you guys, I think a handful of things. Number one, I really got into to hockey pretty deep this year. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was an awesome experience. We went out to a bunch of games with my family. I was able to get a lot of great video content that a lot of fans really enjoyed, and that's something that I think a lot of Penn State fans don't even realize how good the product is right after football season. So that's something that I'd like to work with you guys on as hockey season comes to add and kind of bridge that gap in the offseason in football. In terms of football itself, there's several things. I think we've been talking about putting together a game worn jersey, actually full uniform giveaway with you guys to give back and engage the Happy Valley United members for this upcoming season. I can pull it out. So for everyone listening in, myself and Mike and the team wanted to kind of give the fans an opportunity to get a full Generations of Greatness uniform. So we're going to be doing a giveaway here within the next couple weeks and announce it, but we'll just kind of pull it up here. This is a game worn Generations of Greatness jersey, one of the last Nike ones, and we're actually going to be coupling that with a pair of game worn pants. So we're going to be giving away a full uniform to any of the Happy Valley United members, and we'll be announcing that soon. And that's something that I want to do to work with you guys to give back to the fans. One, with us transitioning to Adidas, give people a chance to get one of the last Nike jerseys. And secondarily, I think the Generations of Greatness jerseys have quickly become the most popular Penn State uniform, and there's not many out there. So giving fans an opportunity to win a full game worn uniform just for being part of the Happy Valley United community was kind of my way to help you guys give back and get more fans aware and involved of what you guys are doing.
Oh, Matt, I can't appreciate it enough in this partnership, and I think it's going to be really cool, especially as we roll out the Adidas stuff, and with everything that you already have built, your foundation, everything is like money. So, what is one? I kind of want to ask you this too. Like, what is one like your best pieces you have that like you prize, like that's your baby?
So I have a couple here.
The
I'll,
LJ jersey that got me like right about. I was like, oh, that
yeah,
game worn. I'm like, oh, that's sick.
yeah. You know what? So I'll give you a couple. So here's one, and this is another thing. Like that talking about working with guys for content is obviously I share a lot of this on my Instagram page, Penn State Jerseys, but I do know a lot of fans always like wonder like where is that piece, and like as we start talking about the national championship teams, right? Like what gets some people excited when me and you first started watching. So this is one. This is Kajana Carter's game worn jersey. And I
Oh,
tell
that's
you a
sick.
crazy story about this. And actually, as we talk about it, this is actually a champion for a period of time. So this jersey actually has a really cool story with the last time Penn State went from champion, which they wore in their early 90s, to Nike. So just to give you an idea of how far we come, and Mike, you mentioned kind of the tier 1, 2, 3, and 4 jersey and apparel schools. So Kajana Carter actually wore this jersey in the 92 season, the 93 season, and in the bowl games for both years. And then when Penn State actually made the transition to Nike, he didn't want to change his jersey. So he actually wore this jersey for the first couple games of the 94 season, most notably the USC game at home. And then he eventually got tapped on the shoulder. Hey, you got to wear the Nike jersey. So that's what happened last time Penn State changed their jerseys from Champion to Nike. I don't think Adidas will allow that this year with like any of the players, but it's crazy how far we came. Like they used jerseys for
really.
multiple seasons.
I wonder
and
how
they
many people
let
know
him
that
wear
story.
wear
That
it.
is an awesome story. It's funny because we've been working with Kajana on some of the things we're doing. In full circle, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like that's your piece, and we're part of the collective. And I didn't know this until talking to Kajana a couple weeks ago. But he's kind of the reason how we got established as a collective. Like he started in like the very beginning of NIL. So it's pretty cool. That's pretty cool that you brought that up.
Yeah. And then there's some cool pieces that people have been like, bro, how do you even have that? I don't know where it is. And I like to like present them week by week. So 2 years ago when we played Wisconsin, I shared this piece. And, this piece to me exemplifies Penn State history. So this is from 2011. And the way basically the story goes is Michael Motti was obviously team captain, and he got injured the week before versus Indiana at home. And for senior day, they all wore the helmets with number 42 on it, and Mike couldn't play. So the Friday before the game, Gerald Hodges, who was one of the other linebackers on the team,
Yeah.
told Spider, hey, I want to wear Mike's jersey to honor him. And so long story short, they went over to Spider's house Friday night, and his wife, I don't know if many know this, did the alterations and a lot of the sewing on the jerseys, actually took Mike's name off the back and sewed Gerald Hodges' nameplate, and he wound up wearing this jersey in the game to honor Mike. And I got them both to sign it. So this,
Dude, that's incredible, man.
example, like
Sick.
this is Penn State history with Spider, his wife, like what it means to be a team, and then that game that they won in overtime against Wisconsin, and all those players stayed, and it was one of the 2 years where they actually wore all their names on the jersey. I was like,
Yeah.
that's
Well, I mean,
that's
to me, I'm
incredible.
kind of new. I'm new to this space,
Mhm.
obviously, but talking to you, I'm fascinated. And to be honest, just genuinely, like after listening to you talk, like this isn't just like some guy collecting some stuff and trying to resell and make a dollar. Like, dude, like you have these like awesome
I don't
stories
sell
behind each
any of
piece.
this. I don't sell any of this. The only time like
Right?
I'll give a jersey back or like work out a deal with someone is if it's for a friend, a family member, a former player. Someone has to come to me with this story, right? If you come to
Yeah.
me with this story, I will bless you. I don't sell like anything. That's my these are all like these are these are memories here. So like my most favorite game at Beaver Stadium, 2005, whiteout, Penn State beats Ohio State. The most significant win in Penn State's football last 30 years when they beat Ohio State home in 05. Like we remember Tom Bahali coming around the end, making that sack, the ball coming out of Troy Smith's hands, Scott Paxson falling on it, and everyone's on the field, right? And Joe Paterno is re-energized. We follow up with several top 10 classes, right? And that game is iconic. It meant so much to those fans like myself who went to every game the prior 2 seasons where we were 3-8 and 4-7 and sat through a game we lost 6-4, right? So like those games and that team means so much to a lot of fans. And these kids who have gone to school the
100%.
past 7-10 years, they have no idea what a 4-7 season is. Like
Oh,
they don't even
no
know
doubt.
what that is. 3-8, right? They don't know what that is. So like
Because usually somebody's fired if that happens nowadays.
fired. fired, right? And then so this goes back to, I mean, Mike, you probably know like the old Audibles message board, right, where fans
Yeah.
were first started to kind of to interact. But like for that game, this is Tom Bahali's jersey he wore that game when he
Which one?
sacked
The
Bryce.
2000,
Yeah,
2005?
yeah. This is from
The
that game.
whiteout against Ohio
Yep.
State?
Mm-hmm. Still
Oh
got
my
like
God,
all the
dude.
red hit marks, all the repairs. It's all photo matched. Um,
Well, Matt
like
Dub,
th-
I didn't know you had this game like this, man. Like this is incredible.
I mean, and so that's just one guy. So that's my favorite team of all time. So I have a jersey from pretty much every single starter on that team from that year. So
That
my
that's insane.
my other guy from that game, right? Paul Posluszny, worn
One of my
every game in
favorites.
2005. I mean, there's still bloodstains on this jersey.
Oh my
You know that
gosh,
you know the
that's
you know the picture
crazy.
where his nose is split open.
Yeah,
This is a jersey he wore for every home game that
that's
year.
awesome. That's one guy I haven't met since being around Penn State, and I've never had a chance to run into him. He hasn't been around that much. I think with the new staff, he's been around. I just haven't met him, but he's one of my all-time favorite players, especially at linebacker.
He works at like Raytheon doing like missile defense. He came up to the State College Spikes game last year, um, and I was going to drive out. I don't. A lot of my jerseys I don't have signed. I just like taking pictures with the guys and just tell them like, hey, listen, I have this. This was like an awesome memory for me,
Yeah.
and just kind of share that moment. My son, funny enough, had a baseball game that day. I was going to drive out and see him, but he doesn't come around often. But that's one of my goals to just get the opportunity to meet him and show him the jersey and
That's awesome. That's
take a
awesome.
picture um,
Yeah.
with him. And then the other thing you guys mentioned about Adam Talaferro coming on board for the 814 members. This I'm actually trying to work with the All Sports Museum now. This is actually Adam's jersey that he wore on the field, leading the team on after he recovered from his severe injury the
No
year
way.
before with Ohio State. Yeah, so I got this years
Dude,
ago,
you have
and
gold.
this is
Gold over
this
there.
is like history right here.
History, man. That is
History.
awesome.
So
Brian, does Taliaferro know that he
yeah,
has that?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I,
I sent him that picture in our group chat too.
yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
He's great. I've been in touch with him for years. He's always gracious with your time. At the time, I always message back and forth. He's very like supportive. He's always available. He's
He's a
awesome.
great dude.
Awesome.
He's like just like a lot of the Penn Staters that we grew up on watching. They're all like really good dudes, like just normal dudes that were hell of football players for Penn State and built Penn State to what it is today. But hey, I want to just thank you for supporting HVU in this partnership. I know we have some pretty cool things that we're going to roll out, auctioning some of these gold items that people would die for. I want some now. Like it's incredible. I want a Kyle. Do you have a Kyle Brady jersey?
I don't have a Kyle Brady. I do not
Okay,
have.
well, we can
Kyle
work
Brady.
on that now that he's
I'll
coming
keep an eye
around.
on it. I can keep an eye on one. I'll tell you a funny story. So I went to the Penn State game at Alabama in 2011, and I'm walking out after, and he is rolling, and he'll tell you a cooler. We know those Gatorade coolers with
Yeah,
beers, and we're stopping the stop sign, and he's like, "Beer, $1, $1, $1." And I recognized him. I was like, "What are you doing? Selling beer? You're NFL vet." So he was just joking around, but just kind of
yeah,
speaks to his personality of just being kind of a funny, engaging guy, not taking it
yeah,
too seriously, but hell of a tight end.
yeah. Well, that's awesome, Matt. I appreciate it again for supporting HVU and this partnership that we have. And like, I could just talk to you forever, probably, just regardless
I
of the
got
partnership and
stories.
stuff. The
Yeah.
stories, like this. I'm sure you have a ton of stories on Spider, like just like some of the legends and the staples here in the community. Like the stories around them are always fun, and like hearing new things is awesome. Like some of these like awesome facts that you threw in there were incredible, and some of these jerseys you have are insane, insane.
Mhm.
Again, like I didn't know the level of your game, bro. Like this is sick.
Yeah.
man.
Like I got both
So,
Gavin McKenna jerseys from the outdoor game. I won that auction. I won the Gavin
oh,
McKenna
that's sick.
whiteout
You know
one.
what? I have a Wendy Hoover. I don't know,
Mm.
she worked with
Yeah,
us. We still
absolutely.
work together, but she's under a different umbrella. She sent me a jersey during the Final Four or whatever, whenever the playoffs were going, and to get it signed. I wasn't able to get it signed, but it's here somewhere. So yeah, I have a jersey. I don't know if I can like.
Send me a picture. I want to see it. I'm always
All right,
curious.
I'll send you a picture after we get off here. But yeah, man, that was good stuff, man. I
Hey,
don't know. Do
Awesome.
we need to do any kind of CTAs or anything?
yeah,
Call
I would
outs?
do. For Penn State jerseys, we should definitely want to do one for the site so that where people can find Penn State jerseys, just a basic sign off on that. We should briefly just hit on Matt. You'll be at We Are at the Shore.
Yeah.
So briefly hit on we'll be at the We Are at the Shore event. Have an opportunity to meet Matt. Whatever, like just meet other
Okay.
Penn State fans, something like
All right.
that.
The other thing is
Let's,
what I want to do for that. I have a bunch of the if shirts that Terry Smith that were issued to the team. I got about 10 of them. We should definitely see if we can get Coach Smith to sign one and put it up for auction. I can
he
donate
for
one
sure
of
would.
them. Yeah, I think that would be cool. Maybe put like 2 of them up there. We should do that. The other thing is, I don't know how like again, I don't want to bother Saquon Barkley there, but I have his like game worn Penn State practice jersey. I actually have a couple of them. You know, that would be cool, letting fans get the opportunity
Or
to take
you're
a
going to be at Avalon, right?
yeah. But
Okay.
if
Yeah.
you
So
could,
let's talk on that. But yeah, he'll be there. I think that kind of circle, as long as you're in that circle, like it's cool. Like it's chill. Plus, all the
We'll
players are
keep
going to
it
be there.
Wendy, and they'll be introducing to Wendy too, so he can meet
Yeah,
Wendy's.
Wendy can get it set up for
Yeah,
you.
Wendy's
yeah,
the mover
or if
super.
other fans like I'm talking about like, you know, hey, like get an opportunity to take a picture with them. We could do that. Let's also do like a schedule for a monthly jersey auction, right? I
Yeah,
think that would be good. Let's have
Hell yeah.
we got the giveaway for the uniform. We do a monthly jersey auction. We'll have Coach Smith sign a couple of the if shirts at the event as a fundraiser. Do we want to do them for a specific cause? Maybe one for a charity of his choice. Like I know his daughter is very involved in the Special Olympics. Maybe we do one for the Special Olympics.
Yeah, dude.
And then
I love the way you're thinking. Like
yeah,
that just it's a no brainer. Send
mm.
me a picture of that if shirt. I
I got
kind of
like
remember.
yeah, I got a
Just send me a
bunch.
picture. So I'll shoot him a text and be like, hey, are you good with this?
Hmm.
And we want to. The kicker is just like say, hey, we're gonna have some money go back towards the foundation. Like, dude, that's a no
Yeah,
brainer.
yeah, that'll be good. So we got that, and then just like the video and content, right? Like I think like you know, like I took a lot of great candid videos at the spring game that a lot of people like reacted to really well. The other thing that I don't get too far off, but like let me tell you, the number one thing that I cannot stand, even though we all do it, it's like people don't watch the games. They sit there and they record the whole fucking thing on their phone. We
Yeah,
should
it's so true.
we should have a HVU media package where we will have like someone like myself or an intern literally go around and take videos of their kids in warm-ups and during the games and then cut them up and send them to the parents so they can sit there and watch the game and not record the whole thing. That
the great
like
series. Yeah,
is that like that drives me nuts. They showed a cut up of Larry Johnson making the 3-pointer, the 4-point play years ago, and then they showed a cut up of Anunoby, and like, what's the difference? No one watched Anunoby. Everyone was sitting there like this, and no one
yeah,
had the phones, and that's what made Texas USC the last greatest game in college football because no one had the phones to record because they sat there and enjoyed it. And that's what like made people's memories really like resonate. So I think there would be a huge demand to say, hey, you don't like, and I get thank you from all the parents all the time. Like I'll post videos that I'm taking of all like their kids in warmups, cut it up. And they're like, thank you so much. They don't want to do that. I think there's like a business angle or play there with media, with getting media interns to literally just take the clips of kids in warm-ups or on the sidelines and kind of produce
You're
that
not
content.
lying. I think you're definitely on to something. That could be something huge. And we have the resource and the people to do it. And
Yeah. Well,
Absolutely.
also,
and you kick off they kick off the entire recruiting weekend when the parents come. So literally, it could be like one of the first things we talk about and say, "Hey, enjoy the weekend with your kids, or enjoy this game. We'll have someone assigned to you to make
Just
sure we
like a
get
wedding
key moments."
photographer,
It's really
right?
easy.
Like, no, just enjoy your wedding, right? Like, put the
Yeah.
phones down, take it all in, and then when they leave, they're just going to be like, "Wow, like what?" And I was engaged, I was in the process,
yeah,
like, you know, I think that'd be cool. I think there's a strong value play there.
yeah. All right, let's knock out the CTA to your the Penn State jerseys. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So hey Matt, so tell everybody how to get to your site, to your channels, and how we can get there.
Yeah, so it's just Penn State jerseys on Instagram. Just follow the page. That's the best way to get consistent access to my ongoing content. And by all means, I love when fans send messages, interact. If they see a jersey or a memento that I post, and they share a personal story about something they remember about that. I mean, I love interacting with other fans. Meeting other fans is probably the funnest part of being a college football fan, and sharing that same bond and experience. And don't be a stranger. I mean, I love when people say, "Hey, I love seeing this on your page, or that on your page, or that reel was great." Like that's what we're doing this here for, and we're creating memories with each other as fans. And life's greatest gifts are the experiences we share with others. So, you know, just building the camaraderie among the fan base, I think, is the most powerful message, and what I'm trying to do with my page.
Yeah, hell yeah, brother. I'm all on board and some with this. This is amazing to me. And we also have another great event, June 22nd. We are at the Shore. I believe you're going to be in attendance, correct?
Yeah, I'm going down with my wife. We're my mom did commit to babysitting and watching the kids, so prop to mom. I'm excited about some of the players and coaches that'll be there, and Mike, I know you and I will be working on some special items from my collection. We'll get signed by some of the players and coaches and put up for auction for a good cause, both for HVU and some charities close to the players and coaches. So I'm certainly excited to be there and give back, because you know, these players and coaches, they give literally their whole lives to this. And we show up on Saturdays and an occasional Friday night. Don't get me started on the Friday night this year, and enjoy it. But there is countless hours and time that's put into it. And, that's one thing, and myself as a fan has a growing appreciation for how much time and effort these players make, the parents of these players make, and the coaches to put a good product on the field. So I always like to reciprocate my appreciation for them whenever I could.
Yeah, man. And like this goes all the way back to kind of my vision or what I wanted to be a part of. One, I wanted to be a part of Penn State, right? And at first it was just being a recruiting guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then coming back, it's like, okay, this collective. Well, the collective has changed so much. And since I was here over a year now, it went from like, asking all the big donors for money, give, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as things have evolved, it's changed. And now we're in a position working with people like yourself that it's a win-win, right? We're going to get some visibility here and help with our platform, which is great, but we're also giving back to foundations, right? And like,
Mm-hmm.
this isn't just a piece of memorabilia. There's stories behind each one, and we're going to be able to provide that to fans, the auction, and dude, it's just a win-win. And I really appreciate this partnership. I appreciate you, man, and I really look forward to seeing you at We Are Shores. For people that don't know, We Are Shore is one of our staple events under the Penn State NIL ecosystem. And last year was my first time there, and by far it is the coolest event that you're going to go to, because obviously you're going to be able to see Coach Campbell, the assistant coaches, the front office people, Hoosiers, but you're also going to be able to see some of the biggest Penn State fans that are there. And you go there, you golf in the morning on one of the most elite golf courses possible, right? Barring the weather last year, I almost had a heat exhaustion because I'm a big fella. But then you come back, you have great food, drinks, coach talks. The players are there just mingling, just hanging out, just being
Mhm.
just normal. And it's really cool. It's a really cool function. So I look forward to that event. Wendy Hoover is the one that drives that and does a phenomenal job at all these events. So look forward to seeing you there, man, and appreciate this partnership.
Yeah, I was there last year, and just to speak to it, I mean, the quality of the conversations with other fans, business professionals, and alike there was truly enjoyable. Speaking with people and having dinner with people who share that same passion it's just an awesome experience. Yes, the coaches there and the players are there and are great, but the conversations you're just having with other fans who will tell the same stories about flying to a game or having to get tickets to this event or driving 4 hours from the game, like those are real special people and special bonds, and a lot of those people I've stayed in touch with since that event and seen at other games. And it's just you're building deeper roots within the Penn State community besides just showing up and having a good time. I feel the people are what make Penn State different than every other school, and
1000%.
it's awesome. And just I'll give a very thank you to Wendy Hoover. I'll pull one out. I won the auction for the game worn number 13 last year from
No,
Tony
that's awesome.
Rojas. So I thank you very much, Wendy. And she'll, of course, have probably some really cool items up for auction again this year. So, another reason to go. And the players there were so gracious with their time, whether it's Brandon Short, LeVar Arrington, Denai Dennis Sutton. I and my wife, she had a great conversation with Kyron Hudson before dinner. And I remember her coming over like, man, like, such a nice guy, so well spoken. Like she felt proud that we're supporting and representing like really good kids who are here to play for
Dude,
us and
that
that's awesome.
triggers a couple things to me because like that's why I'm back here. That's why I'm dedicated to raising my kids here through
Mm-hmm.
high school because this is the type of community I want them to be in and the type of people I want them to be around. And after going through my career in the recruiting space, I got the opportunity to really see other communities, how the players are from that region. Nothing ever compares to this place, man. When I got here last year, I all I wanted to do was just like meet people because I know like it's all about relationships here, right? Like you're not going to come here and like a certain school in South Florida and just shine a dangly carrot in front of a guy and say, "Hey, we have X amount of money to bring you here, this and that." No, it's more about relationships, or like the part like talking to a lot of the people that do give back and give back a lot. Uh, they're just like normal to talk to. You wouldn't know that they have, like a ton of money to shell out. Like you wouldn't know because it's just like normal people. We were on a call with Jordan Mott last week, doing an interview with him, and you know him well, and he's like a prime example. He's a younger generation, but he's a prime example. Just like a good dude that loves Penn State. Um, and that's what we're kind of building with this platform. Not like a 247 or on three. We're just building a community to help create win-wins with people like yourself and your company, and a place to engage, right? And just be dudes. We're at the end of the day, we're just all fans. We're just a bunch of me. I always say this. I'm just a meathead nerd type of guy, right? I just want to talk football, man, and talk about like Spider and some of these stories. And dude, how did you get that? Like that stuff. That's really neat. So, yeah, that what you said is aligns with exactly how I feel. But I mean,
Yeah.
it makes sense too because we're the same age. We didn't go to school here, but it feels like we are just as Penn State as anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's core values and what you're trying to get out of college sports and the fans and the teams that you interact with, right? And it's enjoyable. Like, as I start, as a father, I was trying to take my kids to games this year, and they were 9 and 7. It was the first time they're really starting to be able to sit through whole games, right? And you're telling
That's
them the
big. Yeah.
plays and how it works, and then
Yeah.
after the game, like my son getting like a headband from Abdul Carter, or my daughter getting like a sweatband from a player. Like those are the experiences I leave as parents. Like you're gonna remember those forever. Or we just were we got it. We were next to a nice family this year with our parking spot, and I remember like the weekend after Halloween, they had all the extra Halloween candy. My two kids are there, and they're like just giving it to them, and they don't know them from anyone else, but it just starts a conversation. Like that's type of community like Penn State is, right? Like you're
100%.
everyone is just cool. And it's funny because we went out to so many hockey games this year, probably like 4 different hockey games. We took the kids out of school on Friday. The teachers were like, all right, another Penn State hockey game again. But when we get there, my wife was like, I feel like, when you wake up like Saturday morning when you're in college and you're hanging out with your friends, like like there's a special sense of community there. Like you all share the same thing. It's very like nostalgic. It's a really special place, man. It's a special
100%.
place.
When we rolled out this platform, obviously the sweepstakes is like really big for our platform. A really cool tool. I'm new to it. Brian built it, him and his team, and it's awesome. But one of the first sweepstakes we did was the Pro Day sweepstakes, where we invited fans to put in their entries to come just hang with me.
Yeah.
And like I forget, like sometimes I get what's the right word? Like desensitized maybe a little bit by like the action and like the access, and so I bring Joe he's from kind of from the outside of the Philly region, probably a little bit older than myself, and his son, who was probably maybe 8 years old, 8, 9 years old. Man, when they came in and I gave him that big bag of swag and stuff and signed balls and jerseys and stuff, and then I gave them their credential, and then they just start walking around, and oh yeah, here's Drew Lar, and introduce them to Drew. It just because everybody's in at Pro Day that you're going to be able to just run into and say hello, and you should have seen their eyes, and like, and then like we did an interview with them after and just talking. It was like it almost brought me to tears because like how special that was. Just that hour or 2 hours it was for him and his son, dude. That money, all that stuff aside, that's what it's all about, bro. Right? Like that is incredible for me. Like as I continue to get older, I feel like I'm getting a little softer, right? Like I just want to do good, and like doing stuff like that and the things that we're gonna do. Like I think it does that, it accomplishes that.
Yeah, and I think that's what's like that's one of the biggest motivating things. Like we've had conversations like why I've wanted to get involved and try to help, because we're not really asking for money per se. We're trying to create experiences for people that will have that lasting impact and value, rather than just let's get this player, let's get a player. The bottom line is revenue sharing is going to take care of a lot of that. There's going to be less asked of fans just for dollar the way things are going. That Adidas contract is going to help, right?
Oh, big
So
time.
it's going
Yeah.
to be more opportunities for us to do stuff like this that are more meaningful and impactful and experiential for fans, rather than just asking for money. So when people think like, why Adidas? It's less to ask for you. It's less to ask for this person, and we can focus on the Pro Day experience or the game experience or getting access to players or jerseys or experiences that the fans can now enjoy, right? And our relationship with the fan is service, not of solicitation. So I think
and to me, like it's always been about relationships, right? Like I'm not perfect by no means, but like the relationships here, like they mean a ton to me, right? And like I just think like what we're doing versus what the perception is of NIL and collectives is so different, right? And it's going down the path that can be sustainable, right? And that's why I'm really excited to be in this position because, dude, like and this is probably bad for me to say, but like I'm not good at like asking for money. Like I don't ask for money, right? I was a decent recruiter to get recruits and evaluations, but like asking dudes for money, like I struggle with that, especially if there's not a relationship piece to it. And I think all the people, all the like my circle here at Penn State, I think they all know that and believe it, and that's why like I think guys like myself and you, if we just continue to grow this community and these partnerships, man, like there's so much good we can do to bring back into this community and this program and athletics.
Yeah, and it's for a good cause, right? It is, and
100%.
ultimately, what we're trying to build is exactly what you articulated. The experience between the father and son who came up at Pro Day, like that's really what we're trying to do. Can we create experiences that can be replicated, so more and more fans can enjoy it? Because as soon as they experience that, then they want to be involved. And I think as quick as that barrier can be broken, those fans can experience the access and
That's exactly right.
experience, then they're on board. And now it's a relationship, right? Now we're
Right.
serving, we're not soliciting. And I think that's what's got me really excited about what can I do to help serve? Because listen, I've been a fan for 30 years. I want to let me put this out there. I want to see a national championship, right? Like when they lost to Ohio State and blew a 17-point lead in 2016, I cried like a baby, right?
2017.
That was 2017. That was devastating, right? And I've always thought, like, what could I do to help, right? I don't want to bitch on a message board. I don't want to I don't want to call for this or that. Like, what could I do to help? And this is something that fits. Like, what could we do to help? Because the more fans are engaged, like recruits feel that, parents feel that, right? Like there is an authentic experience that as I've grown older and have kids in sports and coach sports, and seeing the relationship that parents have with coaches and the communities and the other parents, how important that is to recruiting, right? And there's just a lot of other ways that fans and other people in community can make this place better, even if they're not giving $1.
Yeah, 100%. You said full circle to something you said, and I fully believe it. We have an HVU Insider show now, and we do it at Pine Grove Hall. I don't know if you've ever been there. Really cool spot. But we bring in 3 players twice a week to do interviews, right, and bring them on stage and do all that, and people can come and listen to them and interact with them. And the same thing every time is, man, that kid was really sharp. Like that kid was like really awesome. Like, and then they feel connected to him. So then when they're in a crowd of 107,000 and they're watching him and then they see him succeed on the field and have some success, or he like scores a winning touchdown or makes the big sack, they feel connected to them like it's their kid, right? Because they had that interaction with them and that engagement with them. And so it's just like it's perfect. So I like this. Like you bring that to, and like you said, you had your son like ran into Abdul Kadir, or no, you were at the shore last year, right? And you're like, oh, who was it? Hudson, like Hudson. To
my
me,
wife had a nice conversation.
One of the most like professional, articulate, like confident young men that I've been around. Like awesome kid. But now going in the season, you're probably like, man, I love that kid. Man, I hope they throw the car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
my wife was always asking, like, hey, where is he? Where is he? Where is he?
Yeah, exactly. Why isn't he getting the ball? You got to throw the ball to him. He becomes your favorite player.